What kind of food does $10 get you in Japan? Watch to the end to find out.
Budget, Japan. It often feels like those two words don't go very well alongside each other, like
Right.
salmon and chocolate, or British and happy. And yet, over the last decade, travelling Japan has gotten a lot cheaper, partly thanks to a recent construction boom in hotels catering to overseas tourists, and especially thanks to a completely worthless yen.
Wait a second, what? So the yen is dropping in value, I guess? Oh, I didn't know that, because everything I've ever heard is that traveling in Japan is really expensive. So if you can go on $10, sign me up.
And when it comes to dining out here, your money really can go a long way. With mouth-watering dishes prepared with
Okay.
fresh ingredients, easily found for under 1,000 yen, about $8 or £6. The absence of a tipping culture certainly helps on the wallet as well. So in this video, let's...
They don't tip? That is so smart. Why don't we just pay our servers and our busboys better wages and stop with this silly tipping culture? It is ridiculous. I always thought that was silly. Like, just pay your people enough. Why do we have to pay their wages? What is going on?
discover 12 amazing, delicious dishes and restaurants where you can find a hearty meal for 1,000 yen or less and see how much bang for your buck you can really get while traveling around Japan.
Let's go.
We're going to be absolutely stuffed by the end of this video.
I'm ready for it. 12 budget foods in Japan.
From noodles and sushi to burgers and curry, you might be surprised by the sheer variety of mouth-watering options you can find around Japan, with some familiar brands and some you may never heard of before.
I'm already getting hungry. This stuff looks amazing.
By the end of our reasonably priced culinary odyssey, we'll have gone everywhere from train stations and basements to bustling downtown street corners. And we begin our journey with the restaurant you can find on every street corner.
It's always the nook and cranny places, the little hidden gems that you might not necessarily think were amazing at first. And then you go check them out and it's like, oh, this is really cheap food. Oh, it's really good. Oh, man. It's always like the food carts and the like hole-in-the-wall restaurants, I swear.
Sukiya, home of the Udon beef bowl and Japan's second biggest fast food chain, with 2,000 stores nationwide, serving up disturbingly good value for money.
That looks good.
So when it comes to fast food restaurants in Japan, there are three big chains that dominate: Sukiya, Matsuya, and Yoshinoya. My favourite is Sukiya because of one particular bowl topped with cheese, as I'm about to show you in a...
Yeah, I was gonna say, when he first showed that little glimpse, the cheese crust all over the top. It looks so good. It looks so good. I mean, just beef, cheese, probably tons of rice under there. And I'm married to a Filipino. I love rice. Dang.
a minute, but it's fast, filling, and actually bloody delicious. So let's go and check it out.
Let's go.
Sukiya, Matsuya, and Yoshinoya. Some people swear by one or the other, but the truth is they're all pretty damn good. Matsuya is often marginally cheaper than the other two. Yoshinoya is said to have the best gyudon.
What was it? Matsuya? Let me see. Yeah, Matsuya. Matsuya is the cheap one. Remember that, everybody. If you want the best price, go to Matsuya.
Sauce in the world, whereas Sukiya is famous for its variety of toppings. And if you're like me, a gluttonous cheese fiend, you'll no doubt be won over by the gyudon with 3 kinds of cheese. Oh yes.
There you go.
Look at that bad boy. Gyudon smothered in a bucket of cheese. This is...
I mean, you can't go wrong, really. So that's probably going to be my favorite then. Sukiya or whatever. I can't say it right, but that's the place. A bowl of beef and rice and cheese. Nothing better.
Is the reason I like Sukiya. I used to eat this a lot. I got weirdly addicted to this many years ago. When I was trying to lose weight before the original journey across Japan, I would walk 20,000 steps every day. And at the end of my 20,000 steps, when I was basically limping through Sendai, I would come in here to Sukiya and devour a bowl of this, probably offsetting some of the great work I'd done, burning off those calories walking.
Maybe.
But I needed that. I needed to know I was going to get this at the end of it, to have the motivation to power on through.
Sometimes that's all you need, man. You need the motivation, the tasty treat at the end of the tunnel to motivate you to do that workout.
All right, admittedly, the somewhat microwaved beef isn't the best quality and it can get a little stringy at times. But after being marinated in sweet savoury sauce and served alongside chopped onions, it's a hearty comfort food and an absolute steal.
Okay, so if I am counting this right, you basically knock off 2 zeros, and that's the price in US dollars. So that's $4 to $6 for a meal. That's really affordable. That's really affordable. Taste 7 out of 10, portion size 8 out of 10. There you go. So you get nice and full, tastes pretty good, and it's not expensive at all. That's awesome.
for 580 yen a bowl. While gyudon is a reliable fast food, it lacks a diversity of flavours.
Okay.
After all, melted cheese can only take you so far, though it
That's
pains
fair.
me to admit it. Fortunately though, our next dish comes in a variety of flavours across the country, making it almost impossible to ever get tired of. With its braised pork, rich broth and bright yellow noodles. Next up is ramen.
Ramen! Ramen is king, let me tell you. Ramen is king for me. For me. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of amazing dishes in Japan, but I love ramen.
So this is Sendai Core, literally child of Sendai. It's my favourite ramen shop in town. It might not be the most picturesque ramen, but
Sendaiku. Remember that. It sounds really good. Looks really good. Oh my goodness.
it is the most delicious. Look at that, thick kotteri style broth. Two types of broth in Japan, kotteri and asari. Asari is kind of transparent and clear, and kotteri.
Look at this. Oh, it sounds so good. Looks so good. Man, I'm getting hungry. And I did not eat that long ago.
Very thick, like this one here. Oh, God, it's so good. It's like drinking pure gravy. And the best thing of all, this bowl of chashu ramen, with all this pork here, is 990 yen. Absolute bargain.
So basically 10 bucks. $9.90, essentially. Close. That's incredible. It looks so delicious. It looks like a gourmet meal to me. I mean, the presentation is really nice, right? So yeah, it looks like it's top notch and it's only 10 bucks. That's awesome.
While this bowl of ramen was 990 yen due to the extra helping of braised pork, sorry I couldn't help myself, a typical bowl of ramen in Japan clocks in around 650 to 800 yen, with more.
Even better. You can get an insanely good-looking bowl of ramen for $6.50 to $8. That's insane. So you can literally live off of, well, if you're like me, I only eat like 2 meals a day, essentially, but sometimes 3, to be fair. But you could probably live off of $20 to $30 a day in Japan. That's crazy.
More so-called premium restaurant chains such as Ichiran, charging up to 980 yen for a standard bowl and then cashing in on the toppings.
There you go.
It's a right cheeky rip-off considering in Tokyo you can grab a bowl of Michelin star ramen topped off with white truffle oil no less for an incredible 1,000 yen. Now
Wow.
that is some serious value for money.
That's crazy.
For me, ramen is something of a once-a-month guilty pleasure because I do feel pretty damn guilty when I've had it. It is very salty, it's very fatty, but I think in terms of pure value for money.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's sitting here arguing that ramen is really good for you. I mean, you can definitely get ramen bowls with lots of veggies, but let's be honest, that broth is filled with so much salt and oils, and if you've got meats in it, it's got fats in there too, right? So it's not necessarily good for you, but it's so good for your soul, man.
Ramen is a solid 9 out of 10 because this is so damn.
Whoa. Okay, so 400 to 600 yen, 10 out of 10 taste, and 9 out of 10 portion size. So you're definitely full, like no questions asked. It tastes amazing and super affordable. There you go, man. Ramen's the way to go.
We've also got these delicious looking gyoza, crispy, juicy. I can't fit them in my budget because this was 990 yen, so I'm going to gift these to the nice cameraman. You know, no hungry mouths go left unfed on an Abroad Japan shoot. But seriously, hurry up and eat them or you're fired. We're late today.
Well, there you go.
Because of everything you've done. Eat them. Eat the gyoza. So I've actively been dreading this next place more than any other on the list. It is unfortunately very good value for money, and it is Sizeria, the family Italian restaurant.
Sizeria?
Let's go. Oh, God forbid, I hate this place so much.
Sizeria.
Japan does family restaurants pretty damn well. You're practically spoiled for choice between Denny's, Coco's, Gusto, and my personal favourite, Royal.
They have Denny's in Japan? I'll be right at home. I can get my American breakfast in Japan.
Host. All come with food menus bigger than the Bible, drinks so cheap it practically feels like thievery. For as little.
I love the way he like plays up his lines on his channel, man. Abroad in Japan is so good.
As 230 yen, you can drink all the soft drinks and coffee your heart desires.
Nice.
Some family restaurants are on the higher end, such as Royal Host, where the food is top-notch, but a little pricey, with an average meal clocking in around 1,500 to 2,000 yen.
Okay.
Other family restaurants specialise in certain foods, such as Bikuri Donkey, literally surprise donkey, which specialises in Hamburg steaks drenched in cheese.
Oh, boy.
My second favourite after Royal Host.
I mean, to be fair, it does actually look pretty good. Look at the nice char and sizzle on that meat. And then the X marks the spot of cheese.
And while Gusto is the largest family chain with 1,300 locations nationwide, the cheapest and most bang-for-your-buck option is Caesarea, serving up so-called Italian-style food with prices so cheap they look like a bloody printing error, starting in particular...
Wait, whoa. I was seeing like 300-400 yen for dishes. What?
...with the wine.
100 yen wine. How can that be? How could that be drinkable? Seriously, are we going to try it? You bet we are.
$1 a
I
glass.
get the impression Caesarea is aimed at younger folks, not because of the artwork, but if you take a look around, I can't see anybody in here who's over 19 years old. So I feel like I've come to like a children's birthday party or something. A children's birthday party with 100 yen wine. Intriguing. In a plastic beaker, no less. Tanakamas. Ooh, that is interesting. In
A little bit rough on the wine side, eh? But hey, the food's cheap and good, hopefully.
a sort of shit way. I noticed they didn't pour it a little bit and let me sort of taste it, like, oh, there's fruity undertones. They just sort of slapped the beaker of wine down in front of me. Has all the sensibilities of paint stripper. I don't know whether to drink it or use it to redecorate my studio.
I mean, what did you expect for $1 wine, huh?
Drunk on cheap wine, I ordered the 400 yen margarita pizza and the carbonara pasta for 500.
You can get 2 dishes for under $10. And then you got the wine for $1, so right at $10. 2 dishes and a glass of wine for $10. That's crazy.
After all, how bad can they really be? Well, it turns out they're so bad, the waiting staff simply refused to bring them over.
Interestingly, our first dish to come out was one we didn't even order. They seem to have brought us some sort of battered shrimp. And there we go. It's been robbed from me just as I was about to eat it. But instead, we have our margarita pizza. Look at that. Doesn't that look appetizing, viewers? Don't you just want to tuck into that?
I mean, it actually does look good, to be fair. That actually looks really good. I like how globby the cheese looks. I mean, that looks tasty to me.
Honestly, if you serve this to an Italian person, they'd probably punch you in the face. Look at it. Anyway, here we go. Oh no, the dough is like chewing gum. The cheese is really, really salty, not in a good way. And the tomato is this sort of flavorless, disgusting mess. It makes...
Okay, so it's cheap for a reason, then. But hey, you can still live off of $10 for that meal and get a lot of food for your belly. So, I don't know, maybe it's worth it overall, just to be full.
Even microwave pizza seem like Michelin star food, right? This is nothing short of an atrocity.
Yeah.
But the pasta's arrived as well. So let's tuck into that. Oh, right, it's got this really weird, bitter smell to it. Look at that. Jiggle, jiggle.
I don't think bitter is what you want to describe the smell as for your pasta. It's not looking good.
Jiggle, jiggle, egg on top there. At the end of the day, don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge a carbonara by its horribly bitter, acrid smell.
There you go. Got to give it a shot.
No.
Maybe not.
No.
Yeah.
This is an insult to the people of Italy. I think we're...
So I do like a good carbonara, and my wife makes an awesome one. But I could see how you could screw it up, because there's definitely a fine line between like too oily or greasy or like too much cheese on it or something, and it just going overboard, or not being flavorful enough and being like bland, or absolutely overpowering and disgusting.
We're like the only people in here really eating anything. Everyone else is just using the free drink bar. We're the only ones stupid enough to order this stuff. Value for money? It's probably a 10 out of 10.
Ooh, okay, so yeah, like you just said, value for money, right? You get 500 to 900 yen, and you're getting possibly multiple dishes, but 1 out of 10 taste. That is just bottom of the barrel food. It's not even worth eating at that point. And like I said, portion size really good, value for money really good. But if it doesn't taste good, just take me back to the ramen. I'd rather be unhealthy and have something I love.
For quality, for taste, it's a 1. It's a 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
There are other places that are better than this, and we should have gone there. But you don't get red wine there, like you do here. So, swings and roundabouts.
You got a point, Mr. Abroad?
I've been looking forward to this next place perhaps more than any other. You don't get quite as much flavour, quite as good value for your money as Koko Ichibanya. As the mantra always says, good smell, good curry.
Good smell, good curry. You don't need much more detail than that, do you?
Let's go and find out. Japan's biggest curry franchise has over
Koko Ichibanya.
1,400 stores nationwide, with the aroma of the curry wafting through the air down the street, sneakily and subconsciously reeling you in long before you spot it.
Oh, man. I know there's a lot of browns going on there, but it looks good. I would just scarf that up, I'm telling you. I am so hungry. Dang.
At that point, it's already too late. You belong to Koko Ichibanya now, and their tantalizingly personalized menu of mouth-watering flavors and spices.
There you go.
Look at the options here. How overwhelming is that?
That's awesome.
Pork curry, beef curry. You can change your portion of rice, but it's the spice level people get excited about the most.
That's cool.
If you are a maniac, you can go as far as spice number 10, and you'll be carried out here and put in an ambulance.
There you go. If you want to burn all your taste buds off, you can do so at Ichibanya.
While Koko Ichibanya might not have the cheapest cat's curry around, in some places you can find it as low as 500 yen. Here, the rich flavour and quality of the pork is simply unbeatable for the price point, especially if you throw my old friend cheese into the equation.
Look at that.
Cheesy katsukuri. Wow.
Beautiful, thick, creamy curry with dollops of cheese sprinkled in. Beautiful, beautifully spiced. I actually kind of regret not getting a spicy one, to be honest. I only know one man who could handle level 10 spice. He's dead now, but he died doing what he loved. In terms of bang for your buck, very filling meal, very good. Quite possibly my favourite thing on this entire list.
So possibly as low as 700, but I think he was saying because this place is a little bit better than some of the other hole-in-the-wall ones you could find, probably more like 1,000, so more like 10 bucks even. But 9 out of 10 taste and 9 out of 10 portion size. So you're really full, tastes amazing, and it's affordable. I like it.
Curry. It's often there to save you at the end of a long day. Good smell, good curry.
There you go.
You need to stop saying that tagline.
Until now, everything on our list has been a restaurant. Time then
Indeed.
for a street food that's beloved throughout Japan. Simple, savoury, and so damn hot it'll scorch your mouth no matter how long you wait for the bloody things to cool down. Next up, it's takoyaki. Fried
Takoyaki. And boy, does it look good. And bite-sized, too. I like that. Convenient.
octopus balls.
Oh, wait.
There is no
Fried octopus balls? I don't think I've ever tried fried octopus. Interesting.
food in Japan that I've burnt my mouth on more times than takoyaki. The batter, so hot and gooey, it's fresh off the grill, drizzled with mayonnaise and sticky sweet Worcester sauce.
That actually looks really good. Look how colorful it is. I mean, there's stuff in it, or drizzling or whatever, sprinkling little nice, I don't know, chives and onions and things on it. It looks really good.
Fish flakes eerily blowing in the wind. It almost looks like they're alive.
It does.
Oh God. I waited a solid 5 minutes for this to cool down, to no avail. It still incinerated my mouth. Scientists are currently trying to find the conditions, the perfect conditions, to ignite fusion, right? Using lasers and heat and energy. They needn't look further than a takoyaki stand in Sendai, a trillion degrees centigrade.
The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
Given that this was just
That's
560 yen, and it could keep you full for half the day, it's probably a 9 out of 10 in terms of value for money.
Ooh, 10 out of 10 taste? That's awesome. 300 to 500 yen. So if it can keep you full half the day, like I'm talking about, I only eat like 2 meals a day usually. So I'm good half the day. I only need to eat 1 meal, takoyaki, right there. Boom, done. Amazing flavor. Amazing price. Takoyaki.
Deliciousness, well that's a solid 10 out of 10. I know a lot of people might be put off by the fact it's octopus, right, inside, but don't. It is really nice. The first time I had it, I was like, oh, octopus, not sure about that. But by the second time, I was fine. By the third time, I was in love.
Just don't burn your taste buds off. Be a little more patient, and you'll love it.
Alright, so you probably couldn't survive a whole week living off of takoyaki alone, though I'd be keen to find out. So let's consider a more well-rounded alternative.
Okay.
This next one I almost avoided putting on the list altogether, as you don't typically associate sushi with value for money. However, there are certain conveyor belt restaurant chains that aren't too harsh on your pocket money. So let's go inside a kaiten sushi restaurant and see how far we can make 1,000 yen really go.
Now we're talking perfectly bite-sized and clean bites of food. Sushi.
690 yen for the maguro zukushi set. Look at that, beautiful.
That
All the
looks
different
awesome.
cuts of maguro. Over here we've got salmon. This was about 110 yen, a joke bargain price. And also the tamagoyaki, fried egg, also 110 yen. All of this for
Wow.
under 1,000 yen.
That's a lot of food. That's a lot of food, and it looks really good. All for under 10 bucks. Incredible.
My math isn't very good. Question is, how edible is it really? Especially as the reviews for this place were 2.9 stars out of 5 on Google.
Ooh.
4 out of 5. Whimsical business.
Worryingly low for Japan. You never see it that low. Let's find out why. Not bad, actually. The rice is quite decent. It doesn't taste as fresh as normal, but it's actually not as bad as I thought. It's still better than British sushi.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so to be fair, I've gone to a really highly rated sushi place here in the States, and it was old. Like, the rice was crusty or something. Like, that's not the texture you want to have with, like, nice, good sushi. And, man. And it had, like, 4-something stars. So, I don't know. That's interesting. I think sometimes the ratings don't match up with places like this. But yeah, that's interesting that this place is so lowly rated, but it actually still tastes good. Okay.
Rather surprised. This is the Otoro fatty tuna, the most expensive prize tuna.
There you go.
Actually not that bad. Yeah. Is it good?
Yum,
No.
yum.
But is it edible? Yes. I thought this was going to be like a 2 out of 10. It's more close to a 5. Something about it, it's a bit too flavourless. There's something not quite going on.
So it's very
there, but
mid.
for the most part, to a British tourist coming here, I think this would be
It's very mid, but I think mid is okay if you're trying to eat on a budget. As long as it's not just super bad tasting. If it just tastes okay, that's fine.
a life-changing experience, which is kind of sad when you think how much better sushi can be compared to this. I think if you just ate this and you walked out of here, you'd still be hungry afterwards. So for that,
I just keep seeing his example for taste being a ramen bowl, and if ramen is the standard, I'm totally okay with that. Take me to a delicious ramen place any day.
alone, I'm going to give it about a 5 or a 6 out of 10.
Although maybe it was a case of speaking too soon, as I hadn't eaten the last piece.
That was really horrible. Right. Oh.
Oh dear. But if you are going to splash out on one good meal on your trip to Japan, do make it sushi. It is one of those dishes where you can genuinely taste a huge difference when it comes to the quality of the ingredients.
Okay.
Not like our next option, where it pretty much tastes the same the whole world over.
Gosh, what is this fine establishment?
Mickey D's in Japan? No, yeah, I know that there's Mickey D's in Japan, and I've heard that they have some interesting custom dishes there. Let's see what he likes.
McDonald's? McDonald's? Let's go and take a look.
McDonald's.
So you might hate me right now for featuring McDonald's, but the truth is the fast food chain is arguably Japan's most popular fast food option, operating the most restaurants in the country with 2,900 stores nationwide, a whopping 1,000 more than even Sukiya. But as someone who's never set foot in McDonald's, I find myself drawn to the more exotic Japanese items on the menu. What is this? Oh.
The McDonald's Japan menu is subtly different. You know, most people cite the good old sloppy mess that is the teriyaki burger.
The teriyaki burger, there you go.
Which, to be honest, I'm not a fan of. People swear by it, people die by it. But the real one that you should come for is the Samurai Man. They released this about 2 years ago. 2 different burgers, each one representing 2 warring samurai factions. And it proved really popular because the burgers...
I like that. That's clever, and it plays on people's, like, this would be really exciting for foreigners to try, I think, because the idea of samurai is something so, like, iconic and very, very centric to Japan for a foreigner's mind. I don't know. I think this would be really cool for foreigners to try.
Are kind of soaked in soy sauce, and they are, for lack of a better word, delicious. I've eaten so much food today, I've run out of words. This is shaka shaka potato. Shaka shaka is an onomatopoeia, meaning to shake.
Oh.
And what you do, take your plain, bland, salty fries, stick them in the Shaka Shaka bag. Add the Ninniku garlic mayonnaise powder.
Okay.
Oh, look at that powdery goodness. You put it in the bag, and then you shake it, and it goes everywhere, all over the table, in your eyes. It's a fucking shit show by all accounts. And then you take out a fry. It tastes awful. Don't get that one. Don't get the garlic sauce.
There you
Stick
go.
with the samurai
Not
man.
very
But
good.
this was only about 800 yen, so
I mean, come on. So it's a full meal. It's a rounded meal in the sense that you get a burger, fries, and a drink. I guess rounded in the American sense. For 800 yen, 7 out of 10 taste and a good portion size. I mean, that sounds pretty reasonable. But we don't go to Japan for McDonald's. Come on.
very good value for money. Just avoid the Shaka Shaka potato.
There you go.
I just ruined some perfectly good fries. Shaka Shaka bullshit.
Still, McDonald's is McDonald's. You didn't fly 1,000,000 miles around the world for Shaka Shaka McFries.
That's what
At
I'm
least
saying.
I hope you didn't. So let's go back to some authentic Japanese food. And next up is a personal favourite and a restaurant I generally visit once a week for a hearty bowl of udon noodles.
Ooh. So I just recently had udon noodles, and they were really good. And I was surprised because the other time that I remember having udon, I did not like them. So now I'm kind of turning around on udon. I think I might really, really love udon. So let's check this out.
With 800 stores nationwide, Marugame Semen is Japan's
Marugame.
most popular udon franchise.
Okay.
Serving up authentic Sanuki udon from Kagawa Prefecture. Famed for the square-shaped, flat edges
Ooh.
and satisfying chewiness. Sanuki udon is made from a wheat flour and served in broth flavoured with dashi fish stock and iboshi sardines. It's a heavenly combination, rich in umami flavour.
Ooh, umami. Umami. Oh, man, that just sounds so good. It sounds so good.
Especially if you throw some additional tempura battered toppings into the mix.
Oh,
which
of course.
you can, given this hearty bowl of udon costs just over 500 yen. It's daylight robbery.
Are you kidding me? So, a little under $6 for an amazing bowl, and then a little under $2 added on, so still well under $10, and you get spicy udon noodles and tempura. That's crazy.
Robbery, I tell you. Robbery!
Seriously, that is insane value for money. And the tempura, 180 yen per piece.
Wow.
And I'm going to dip that in there like that. Nice, crispy, ebby. A lot spicier than I thought it would be. Crikey.
Wasn't supposed to be this way.
In terms of bang for your buck, I think udon could be like a front runner in this.
Yes, I think this is even better value than the ramen. Oh, man. Gotta go to Japan for the udon, guys. Look at this. 400 to 700 yen. So $4 to $7-ish. 10 out of 10 taste, so it's delicious. And then 9 out of 10 portion size, so you're really full, feeling good. Udon's the way to go.
This whole video. It's a solid 9, maybe even a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
While udon might be formidable value for money, there's still one that's even better. The standing soba noodle restaurants you can find around Japanese train stations, such as this one in Sendai, where
Okay.
for 500 yen, not only do you get a piping hot bowl of soba noodles, but they come topped off with 2 chunky pieces of juicy fried chicken. How the
Wow.
bloody hell do they turn a profit?
Soba noodles
That's
are a little
crazy.
bit bland, but when they're in soup, they really come into their own. Especially when they've got fried chicken with them as well. that kind of helps too. But for
So it'd be nice and filling, too, I would think, because 2 big chunks of fried chicken, I mean, come on. And then noodles, which is just, like, filling. Wow.
500 yen, like, that's a 10 out of 10 for value.
There you go.
Again, we're in a train station here, we're in Sendai Station. People run in here after work or before they've got to get on their train. You order it at the vending machine, and it comes, like, this took about 30 seconds to prepare. I gave them the ticket, came over here, and went straight back over the table to collect it. When it comes to
Wow.
fast food in Japan, it doesn't get faster than this.
I mean, for that reason alone, I guess that could make this really desirable. If you're on a tight schedule, maybe you took like a tourist package or something, and you have like 15 minutes or 30 minutes between activities or whatever, and oh, what do I do really quick? Oh, I can go to this place and get a soba bowl for like $5 in under a minute. That's pretty cool.
One thing I love about the standing soba restaurants is you don't feel too full at the end of it. You know, when you sit down and have a big meal and you're like,
Yeah.
by the end of it. It's nice being stood up, help with the digestion. Years ago, when I was
That's
on a
nice.
journey across Japan, I bumped into a food fighter, a really nice girl, who could eat a whole bucket of teriyaki chicken. And the way she got around it, her secret was she would periodically stand up and jump up and down. And apparently that made the food go down her digestive system. So,
wow, okay.
So standing up at the Soba restaurant, I feel the same. I just jump, and soon I'll get arrested and deported.
While we're here, there's another popular chain you can find at pretty much any major Japanese train station.
Okay.
It's a bit of a wild card and not something you'd necessarily associate
A French restaurant? What?
with Japan. And it's, well, it's bread. It's bread, isn't it?
There you go.
This greasy compilation of baked goods. There's enough oil in here to power a 747 jumbo jet. I don't really eat this anymore. I've become a bit more health conscious over the years, shall we say. And nothing about a cheesy bacon quiche, a bacon stuffed panini, or curry bread, curry pan, is anything that's good for your body. But look at this is really popular. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not good for you, but it looks delicious, let's be fair.
Tasty curry within. Like in Japan,
That's
they can't
nice.
just have simple baked bread, but they are good at ramming every baked good with as much cheese and cholesterol as possible. Bang for your buck. It's a solid 8 out of 10 if you eat.
I mean, look at that. Yeah, $2 to $4, and then you can be fairly full. I mean, it's probably not going to hold you over half the day, but maybe a third of the day. Maybe this could be a solid meal to get you started, or maybe a good quick lunch, and then you plan on having a heavy dinner later.
Eat this, you'll be full for the next 6 hours, even though, let's face it, it's not the most well-balanced meal. If you're stuck in a station anywhere around Japan, odds are you can find a Vie de France, and why not? It's a good place in the morning for breakfast.
Cool.
And if you like pesto, you're going to love the paninis.
One honourable mention, particularly if you're staying in a location for an extended period of time, are supermarkets, where you can grab yourself a hearty bento for around 600 to 800 yen. The
Bento. This is another iconic word that any weeb anime lover such as myself may be familiar with and love the idea of. I just love having all the little compartments and trying all the things, and it's so packaged nicely, and there you go, bento.
bentos are pretty well balanced between the rice, protein such as hamburgers, fish or chicken, and a mixture of vegetables and pickles. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan, as the freshness and flavour can be a bit of a letdown compared to everything else on this list. Let's face it, there's a reason I didn't bother eating this one on camera. But value for money, it is a great option, especially if you're a family holed up in an Airbnb for several days.
There you go.
For our final option, we're journeying out into the evening air for a dining experience at the complete opposite end of the spectrum, and one that I am very, very happy to film.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie, going to an izakaya in Japan is a little bit expensive, certainly over 1,000 yen for the most part, but there are some chains that are cheaper than others, like Humvee, the retro izakaya set in the 1960s. Come on inside, you're in for a treat on this one.
Ooh, so you get a retro feel and it's affordable? I like it. Humvee Izakaya.
In terms of value for money, this is unbeatable.
It looks good.
The 1960s Showa era izakaya. This is all under 1,000 yen.
All of that? I mean, that's one sad looking little chicken wing, but hey, you get the is it takoyaki? No. I forget what it's called. The chicken fry. And then it looks like noodles with an egg and some cabbage. It all looks really good.
The yakisoba and this massive sprawling plate of yakitori with chicken, pork,
there we go,
and cheese wrapped in bacon, to a chicken wing, and all-you-can-eat cabbage. Isn't this insane? 1,000 yen. Crazy.
That's pretty good.
A single one of these tiny, teeny yakitori skewers is just 60 yen. This is the cheapest yakitori you can get in Japan. Probably because it's ridiculously small. Tiny, but delicious.
Hey, and if it tastes good, you can't beat the price. Let's go.
One of the reasons the prices are so cheap in Humvee is to reflect that exciting post-war era, when after a decade of rationing, cheap food was once again accessible for the masses. But to step in Humvee is to go back in time with the posters, the music, the atmosphere. The only thing they need to work on is the English menu, which has some questionable items on it, including Priest Octopus Monster Sausage, the Eat or Be Eaten.
Priest Octopus Sausage. Wow. That's awesome.
Cinnamon Water of Terror. Oh. And my personal favourite, Fly Like a Scallop. It's not quite fly like an eagle, and I'll be damned if I know what it is, because I'm
You get some amazing, affordable food, and you have a great time reading the menu. That's awesome.
not going to order it. But if you come to Humvee, eat the food and enjoy the English menu. Endless free entertainment. And the good news is the franchise can be found throughout Japan.
I think
Awesome.
there are meals that will fill you up more, like ramen maybe, but this is still...
Well, that's all 12 dishes. I am pleasantly surprised. There is some really good-looking food that looks super affordable and tasty. Some of them, not so much. Some of them looked kind of disgusting, like the sushi place. That took a dark turn at the end there. But like this place, the Hanbei, the udon, the ramen. Oh, man. I'm just excited to go to Japan now. I want to eat all the food. Well, what'd you guys think? Are there some cheap foods you'd like to try in Japan? Let me know in the comments. Leave a like, a subscribe, and I'll see you next time.